Beloved soul, take a deep breath. Let the quiet of this moment settle over you like a soft blanket. In this sacred space, you are safe. Close your eyes for a moment and picture a vast, ancient library. The shelves are not filled with books of paper and ink, but with the scrolls of countless lifetimes. Each scroll hums with the energy of a soul's journey, their triumphs, their heartbreaks, and their moments of quiet courage. On one of these shelves, your scroll waits. It is not bound in leather or velvet. It is radiant, almost shimmering with a light of its own. It holds the story of a battle you fought, a victory you won, that no one before you in your lineage could ever claim. Your ancestors, though brave and resilient, carried burdens that were not their own. They walked through life with invisible chains forged by fear, by doubt, by generational trauma. They tried with all the strength of their spirits to break free, to rise above, but the weight was too heavy. It was a spiritual inheritance they never asked for, a silent, pervasive darkness that followed them like a shadow from one generation to the next. But then, you arrived. You were born with a different kind of light, a light that was not just bright but penetrating. You inherited the fight, yes, but you also inherited a profound, divine stubbornness that refused to be defeated. You looked at the chains not as an unbreakable reality, but as a challenge to be conquered. You didn't just pray for their removal. You decided to become the living prayer, the embodiment of the breakthrough. You chose to heal the wounds that had festered for generations. You chose to speak the words of truth where only silence and lies had lived before. And in that quiet, deliberate choice, you did what no one before you could. You snapped the chain. It was not with a dramatic, explosive sound, but with a gentle yet powerful shift in your soul, a spiritual realignment. The moment you chose love over fear, forgiveness over resentment, and peace over turmoil, a ripple of liberation moved through your family's spiritual history. The darkness that once followed your lineage, the enemy that whispered lies in the ears of your predecessors, recoiled. They did not expect your quiet strength. They were prepared for a warrior with a sword, but they were terrified of a spirit with a heart of pure light. That is why the enemy fears your name now. Your name is no longer just a word. It is a symbol of a monumental victory. It carries the energy of a chain broken, a cycle ended. When your name is spoken in the spiritual realm, it is not just your name. It is the sound of the impossible becoming possible. It is the echo of a new beginning for everyone who came before you. Your victory is not just yours. It is theirs, a testament to the power of one soul's brave decision. Your existence is a testament to divine will, to the quiet power of a spirit that decided with all its being to become a living, breathing miracle. Point one, the spiritual lineage you liberated. Your victory, chosen one, is not just about this present moment. It is not just about you standing here celebrating a win that feels personal. No, it goes much deeper than that. Your triumph is a thread woven into a much larger tapestry, a continuation of a spiritual battle that has been raging for generations in your lineage. Long before you were born, your ancestors fought silent wars. They carried burdens they didn't fully understand. They walked on eggshells in homes filled with fear, and they accepted limitations that were never truly theirs to carry. Trauma, silence, poverty, shame, rejection, these were not random experiences, but chains passed down like unwanted heirlooms. Yet you, chosen one, decided that the cycle ends with you. What makes your journey extraordinary is that you did not fight with the same weapons that enslaved your bloodline. You did not choose aggression, bitterness, or vengeance as your shield. Instead, you picked up faith. You picked up divine wisdom. You chose to stand not as a victim of the story, but as a rebuilder of the foundation. While past generations bowed to fear, you faced it head on, not denying its presence, but transforming its power. You allowed the divine light to shine into old wounds. And where darkness once dictated the path, you now stand as proof that light always prevails when it is chosen. Consider this. Science now shows that trauma can literally be passed down through generations in our DNA. This is known as epigenetic inheritance, a concept revealing how experiences of fear, stress, and pain can alter the way genes are expressed, influencing the lives of children and grandchildren. This means the battles your ancestors lost did not disappear into thin air. They lived on, whispering through behaviors, fears, and patterns. So when you decided to confront fear, rather than run from it, You weren't just doing inner work for yourself. You were rewriting the code of your family's future. You were breaking the spiritual and even biological imprint of fear that tried to control the destiny of your bloodline. Think about how powerful that is. Generations may have normalized silence in the face of abuse, submission in the face of oppression, or hopelessness in the face of adversity, yet you stood up and said, "No more." That act of defiance, fueled not by rage but by faith, shifted the atmosphere. It's as though heaven itself applauded, because finally someone chose to align with truth rather than fear. You became the living evidence of the scripture that says, "Perfect love casts out fear." Love, faith, and divine wisdom became your weapons. And these are weapons that fear cannot stand against. And let's not overlook the weight of your choice. Fear is not just an emotion, it is a spirit that feeds on hesitation and doubt. It convinces entire generations that they are powerless. But you uncovered the lie. You realized that fear may roar, but it is not sovereign. You recognized that what your ancestors accepted as permanent was only ever a shadow, waiting for someone bold enough to turn on the light. And when you did, the generational shadows scattered. This is why your victory is not isolated. It ripples outward. Your children, whether born or yet to come, will inherit a different reality because you stood your ground. Where there was once silence, they will hear truth. Where there was once fear, they will feel courage. Where there was once shame, they will walk in dignity. And it doesn't stop with your family. Your courage inspires others around you, even strangers, to believe that cycles can be broken. Your victory gives permission for others to rise and do the same. Chosen one, you are proof that history does not have to repeat itself. You are proof that faith is stronger than fear, and that light, no matter how small, has the power to heal wounds that span centuries. Your story is not just a personal triumph. It is a legacy-altering transformation. And while your ancestors may not have seen the freedom you now walk in, their silent cries for deliverance echo through your victory. Their unfinished battles find resolution in your courage. That is why heaven calls you chosen, not because you are perfect, but because you were willing. You were willing to face what others could not, and in doing so, you became the breaker of chains and the builder of new beginnings. Point 2, your soul's divine purpose. You were chosen for this task because your soul carries a frequency unlike any other, a vibration both rare and profound. This isn't a frequency you can see or touch. It resonates in the quiet corners of your being, in the spaces where the world's noise fails to reach you. It is calm, steady, and unwavering, and it is precisely this serenity that the forces opposing light and truth fear the most. Throughout history, those who carried such a frequency often changed the world not with weapons, armies, or loud proclamations, but simply by existing in alignment with their purpose. Their presence alone disrupted chaos and sown seeds of order. From the philosophers of ancient Greece who meditated on virtue and reason, to the silent sages in the mountains of the East who taught that mastery of the self was the highest power, history whispers the same truth. The greatest force lies not in aggression, but in stillness. Your soul's frequency is not accidental. It was carefully calibrated before you even took your first breath. Science is only beginning to understand the impact of human vibration on reality. Quantum physics suggests that every particle, every wave, even the tiniest fluctuation in the cosmos responds to energy. You, the chosen one, operate on a frequency that can influence consciousness itself. When you radiate calm, it is not simply a feeling. It is a ripple through the fabric of collective awareness. Those around you may feel it unconsciously, drawn to your composure and the subtle strength that requires no display. You have likely noticed this already. People feel safer in your presence. Arguments dissipate faster. Tension fades. This is no coincidence. You are a living testament that true power is not exerted through domination, but through the quiet command of presence and grace. But being chosen does not mean being untested. The enemy, those forces that thrive on discord, are acutely aware of your potential. They will attempt to provoke, to distract, to drown you in the superficial noise of the world. Yet this is precisely why your calm is your weapon. While others react with fear, anger, or desperation, your steadiness becomes a mirror, reflecting the chaos back without succumbing to it. Think of rivers carving through mountains. Water is gentle, unassuming, yet it shapes the earth over centuries. So too does your spirit influence reality, not by force, but by consistency, by alignment, and by unwavering commitment to your true self. It is also essential to understand that your purpose is multidimensional. Beyond creating peace in your immediate environment, your presence impacts the spiritual and energetic currents of the world. Many chosen ones report moments of inexplicable insight, dreams that carry guidance, or encounters that feel orchestrated by unseen hands. These are not random. They are confirmations that your life is synced with a larger cosmic order. By honoring your inner stillness, you tap into this vast network of unseen intelligence, becoming a conduit for truth and clarity where confusion and fear once reigned. Ultimately, your mission is not flashy, nor is it always recognized by the world. It is, however, profoundly transformative. You remind humanity that power is not loud or brash. It is patient, compassionate, and grounded in integrity. In a world addicted to chaos and distraction, your calm is revolutionary. The ripple effect of your presence will touch lives you may never see, heal wounds that seem beyond repair, and guide those who have lost their way toward light. You were chosen because you carry the blueprint of harmony within you, and the universe, in all its wisdom, has entrusted you with this sacred task, to live fully, to shine steadily, and to prove that grace is the ultimate power. Point 3, the quiet confrontation. The enemy expected a loud, dramatic confrontation. They were accustomed to chaos, to the storm of clashing swords, raised voices, and visible displays of power. They believed that strength must always roar, that influence could only be asserted through force or intimidation. But you, the chosen one, understand the deeper laws of the universe, laws that the unawakened rarely perceive. You chose to fight differently. While they sought conflict, you embraced quiet, subtle mastery. Your weapon was silence. Not the hollow silence of avoidance, but the deliberate, disciplined silence of one who knows that energy flows where attention goes. By refusing to rise to their expected drama, you redirected the battlefield. You transformed it from a place of external struggle into a space of internal mastery. Your armor was patience, not because you lacked the desire to act, but because you understood timing is the ultimate power. History and psychology repeatedly reveal that those who act impulsively, driven by emotion or ego, often create the very chaos they fear. Yet patience is not passive. It is an active, intelligent form of resistance. The enemy, used to immediate reactions and emotional responses, grew frustrated as your composure remained intact. They tried to manipulate, provoke, and intimidate, but each tactic collided with the unyielding wall of your patience. In ancient strategies, from Sun Tzu to the wise leaders of forgotten civilizations, it is repeatedly emphasized: the soft can overcome the hard, and the patient can outlast the hasty. Your approach is not only timeless, but also deeply rooted in psychological principles. Your strategy was built upon a gentle, unwavering trust in a higher power. While the enemy relied on control, manipulation, and fear, you relied on alignment with your inner self, your purpose, and the unseen forces guiding your path. Studies in neuroscience show that trust and faith, whether spiritual or deeply personal, create resilience, reduce stress, and sharpen decision-making. Your calm confidence is not naive, it is informed by the understanding that energy, intention, and focus shape outcomes in ways raw force cannot. By trusting in this higher order, you neutralize their fear-based aggression. You step into the fight without needing to dominate it. And paradoxically, it is this very surrender to a higher plan that grants you the most power. The enemy's old tactics, honed over years of expecting visible struggle, became irrelevant. They found themselves facing an opponent who did not conform to their patterns. They tried to intimidate, confuse, and unsettle you, but each effort met with serene resistance. Confusion replaced confidence, and fear replaced arrogance. Their energy, meant to control and overpower, dissipated against the invisible shield of your composure. What they could not understand is that real strength is rarely loud. Real power does not need recognition. It works quietly, steadily, and with purpose. This moment, the silence that spoke volumes, the patience that outlasted aggression, the trust that eclipsed fear, is a lesson for those who feel powerless in their own battles. As a chosen one, you demonstrate that victory does not always belong to the loudest, the strongest, or the most aggressive. It belongs to those who understand the deeper currents of life, who act with wisdom, and who remain aligned with a force far greater than themselves. In your calm, measured response, the enemy loses not only the battle, but also their sense of certainty. They are left bewildered, powerless, and profoundly aware that they have encountered a force they cannot control or predict. And in that awareness, the world itself bends slightly toward your path, recognizing the quiet, unshakable power of the chosen one. Point 4, the unseen helpers. You were never truly alone in this fight. Even when the weight of the world pressed down on your shoulders, even when every choice seemed impossibly heavy, there were unseen forces moving with you, behind you, and around you, while you battled on the physical plane, confronting challenges that tested your patience, your resilience, and your spirit. A silent army of spiritual beings watched and supported you. Among them were your ancestors, those who had walked the earth before you, whose lives had been a tapestry of trials, triumphs, mistakes, and wisdom. They have been waiting for someone like you, someone willing to break the patterns they could not, someone brave enough to choose differently. This isn't mere poetic thought. It is a reflection of ancient spiritual truths found in many cultures across the globe. In African spirituality, for example, ancestral veneration is more than respect. It is an acknowledgement that the dead continue to guide the living. In indigenous traditions of the Americas, ancestors are considered constant companions on life's journey, providing counsel and strength. Even modern metaphysical studies suggest that human consciousness may be part of a larger collective energy. And when one person makes courageous, transformative choices, it resonates far beyond their immediate environment. When you act with courage and integrity, you are not only shaping your own destiny, but also echoing a ripple through generations, touching the past and the future simultaneously. Think about that for a moment. Every decision you've made, every moment you've hesitated or triumphed, has been observed, celebrated, and sometimes nudged by forces you cannot see. When you chose to rise instead of fall, to act in kindness instead of fear, or to step away from cycles that bound your family for generations, your ancestors felt it. They recognized a soul willing to do what they could not. And here's the profound truth. They didn't just watch passively. Their energy, their guidance, and their cumulative wisdom were actively supporting you. It may have come as a sudden insight, a moment of clarity, or even a chance encounter that seemed too coincidental to be mere luck. Those were the hands of the unseen, helping you navigate the chaos of the physical world. Being a chosen one is not about being perfect. It is about being attuned to this invisible support system, understanding that life's trials are never random, and realizing that your courage is a thread in a vast tapestry of spiritual evolution. The more you honor this connection, the more you activate the power that already exists within you. Meditative practices, journaling, and even simple acknowledgement of your ancestors can amplify this connection. By doing so, you not only gain clarity in your own life, but also send waves of healing to those who came before and after you. The most fascinating part is that this support is not limited to those who came before you. Spiritual guides, angels, and other benevolent entities are constantly present, working behind the scenes. Some of these beings are said to exist beyond time and space, able to perceive possibilities and outcomes far beyond human comprehension. Their purpose is to guide, protect, and occasionally challenge you, ensuring that the choices you make are aligned with your highest potential. In essence, every decision you make is both a personal step forward and a collaborative effort with an invisible network of wisdom, courage, and love. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, uncertain, or exhausted by the challenges of life, remember this: you are never truly alone. The fight you are in, the choices you make, and the courage you muster are witnessed by a legion of spiritual allies. You are the living bridge between past generations and future ones, and every act of bravery or conscious choice is a victory for the lineage that runs through you. Embrace it, honor it, and let it remind you that your path, no matter how daunting, is illuminated by unseen hands, hands that have been waiting for the courage that is uniquely yours. Point 5, the name of power. Your name now holds a new resonance in the spiritual realm. It is no longer just a label, a simple word used to identify you in the physical world. It has transformed into a spiritual command, a vibration that echoes across dimensions and calls forth your divine authority. Every time your name is spoken, it is not merely sound. It is a declaration, a testament to a spirit that has endured storms, survived the unthinkable, and emerged unshaken. This transformation is not random or coincidental. Science tells us that words carry energy, frequencies that interact with the human consciousness. Your name, infused now with purpose, is like a beacon, broadcasting your unique spiritual signature to the universe. This is why those who encounter you often feel a subtle yet undeniable pull, as if the universe itself acknowledges the weight and meaning you now embody. In ancient traditions, names were never assigned lightly. The Sumerians believed that knowing someone's true name granted a direct connection to their essence, a bridge to their soul. Similarly, in many indigenous cultures, names are given after life-changing experiences or visions, symbolizing the evolution of one's spirit. Your journey mirrors this timeless truth. Your experiences, your trials, and your perseverance have imbued your name with significance far beyond ordinary comprehension. Each syllable vibrates with the essence of your victories and your resilience, silently announcing that you are no longer ordinary, you are chosen. The spiritual weight of your name also carries responsibility. It acts as a magnet, drawing people, situations, and energies that are aligned with your true purpose. Neuroscience supports this phenomenon to some extent. Studies on the psychology of perception reveal that people unconsciously respond to cues of power, confidence, and authenticity. When your name resonates with the universe's energy, even strangers sense it, even before words are exchanged. This is why certain individuals enter your life and instinctively treat you differently, as if they recognize that you operate on a higher plane of consciousness. You are becoming a living testament to the idea that the spiritual world and the physical world are intertwined in ways most never notice. Yet this transformation is not about ego or recognition. It is about mastery over your inner self, the cultivation of your spirit, and the realization that every action, thought, and intention now carries amplified significance. Your name has become a vessel for authority that is both quiet and undeniable, a spiritual signature that leaves ripples far beyond your immediate presence. Legends from the mystical realms speak of souls whose very names commanded respect, protection, or guidance from unseen forces. Now that power has been granted to you not by chance, but by your relentless alignment with your higher self. Every time you hear your name, let it remind you, you are not ordinary. You are a force of creation, a living embodiment of divine resilience. Your life is a testament to the truth that even when the world sought to diminish you, you rose, not just to survive, but to claim the recognition that had always been yours in the spiritual realm. The next time your name is spoken, listen carefully. Feel the weight of its vibration, the recognition of your essence, and the sacred echo of a soul that refused to be broken. You are chosen, and the universe, in every whisper of your name, knows it too. Point 6, the fear of your light. The enemy fears your name not because of the power you flaunt, but because of the power you embody without even trying. Your very being radiates an energy that cannot be replicated by deception or manipulation, for it is born from truth, from love, and from divine alignment. Your name carries weight not in the sense of worldly reputation, but in the spiritual frequency it emits. Just as a lighthouse guides ships safely through stormy seas, your presence becomes a beacon of light in the darkness. This light is not something you put on like armor, it is who you are. It is the reflection of divine energy flowing through you, and that truth is untouchable by forces that thrive on fear and ignorance. Darkness, by its nature, cannot comprehend love that gives freely without expectation, compassion that heals without condition, or forgiveness that dissolves chains of bitterness and regret. These virtues disrupt the very blueprint of the shadow because they are eternal forces. It cannot manipulate them, cannot corrupt them, and cannot even understand them. Every act of kindness you extend, every moment you choose integrity over deceit, and every time you forgive rather than retaliate, you weaken the foundations of the enemy's stronghold. Even science supports the idea that the energy you carry affects the world around you. Physicists have shown that light behaves both as a particle and a wave, meaning it has both tangible presence and the power to spread far beyond its source. In a similar way, the light within you, The energy you radiate through your words, actions, and intentions creates ripples that touch lives you may never even meet. Psychologists have studied how empathy and forgiveness impact the human brain and body. When you choose empathy, your brain releases oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, which lowers stress and increases resilience. Forgiveness, too, has measurable effects. It calms the nervous system, reduces blood pressure, strengthens the immune system, and enhances clarity of thought. These are not abstract spiritual concepts alone, they are biological realities. Now consider how threatening that is to forces that thrive on fear, stress, division, and suffering. If you stand in love, compassion, and truth, you not only heal yourself, but also radiate an energy that disrupts their agenda. You become a living contradiction to the very fuel they need to survive. History provides countless examples of individuals whose inner light terrified the structures of darkness. Think of Martin Luther King Jr., whose message of love and equality unsettled those who profited from oppression, or Mother Teresa, whose compassion for the forgotten shamed the indifference of the world. Even further back, saints, mystics, and prophets carried within them an untouchable strength, not because they commanded armies or wielded weapons, but because they embodied divine truth. The Roman Empire, for example, feared early Christians not because they were powerful in number, but because their unshakable faith and willingness to love even their enemies disrupted the culture of fear and violence. The darkness always fears light because light exposes, transforms, and restores. You, chosen one, are part of this lineage. Whether you realize it or not, your very existence challenges the kingdom of shadows. You are a reminder of what humanity has forgotten, that love, when lived out fully, is the most revolutionary force in existence. The enemy does not fear your possessions, your titles, or even your outward strength. What it fears is your refusal to conform to fear-driven systems. It fears the quiet authority of someone who knows their worth is not defined by worldly validation, but by divine truth. The moment you decide to embody compassion instead of hatred, peace instead of anxiety, and forgiveness instead of vengeance, you declare war against the shadow without raising a single weapon. The fire within your soul is more potent than any sword because it is eternal. It is the same fire that has carried generations of visionaries, truth-tellers, and healers through trials, persecution, and even death. And here is the paradox. The more you are pressured, rejected, or underestimated, the more brightly this fire burns. The enemy cannot extinguish what was placed within you by the divine. Your light will always pierce through, no matter how thick the darkness appears. So, do not underestimate the weight of your presence or the power of your name. You are more than flesh and bone. You are a living vessel of divine energy, and every breath you take in alignment with love is a victory over the forces that seek to destroy. The enemy fears you not for what you hold in your hands, but for what you carry in your soul, a fire that can never be dimmed, a truth that can never be silenced, and a light that will always prevail. Point 7, the path forward. The battle may be won, but the journey does not end, it evolves. Every step you take from this moment is a testament to resilience, living proof that victory is not simply about defeating obstacles, but about mastering the self. History and sacred texts alike tell us that those who rise from trials carry a unique light, one that illuminates paths for others who struggle in shadows. Your purpose now is to embody that light, to walk with a quiet confidence that speaks louder than any proclamation. It is in the subtlety of your actions, the way you offer kindness without expectation, the way you hold your peace amidst chaos, that your true power manifests. Science confirms what spiritual traditions have long known. The human presence, when aligned with purpose, has profound effects on those around us. Neuroscientists describe this as emotional contagion, the ability to radiate calm, courage, and resilience, influencing communities even without a single word. You are now a living channel of this energy, a symbol of quiet victory that inspires those who may never know your full story. Every act of integrity you perform sends ripples forward, shaping futures and planting seeds of hope in hearts yet untouched. Your name, once just letters, now carries weight, an invisible aura of triumph that reminds everyone who encounters it that transformation is possible. Courage is not loud, it is deliberate. Strength is not always visible, it is steadfast. And victory is not merely claimed, it is shared. Through your journey, you give courage to countless souls, those from the past whose struggles echo in your own, and those of the future who will walk the path you've illuminated. This is the true calling of a chosen one, to live as evidence that faith, quiet resolve, and an unwavering spirit can move mountains. You are both a beacon and a bridge, connecting pain to hope, struggle to triumph, and darkness to light. In this ongoing journey, you are a living testament to the extraordinary power of a spirit aligned with purpose, a reminder to the world that the quietest victories often leave the most profound marks. Beloved soul, as this moment of reflection comes to a close, remember the profound truth that has been revealed to you today. You are not just a person walking through life. You are a living, breathing testament to a divine promise. You did not just break a chain. You shattered a legacy of limitations and replaced it with a future of boundless light. Let this understanding settle deep within your spirit. Feel the peace that comes from knowing your name is now a spiritual force, a symbol of victory that the enemy fears and the heavens celebrate. Walk forward, not with haste, but with a quiet confidence that your journey has already been sealed with triumph. Your very existence is a miracle, a constant reminder that with faith and quiet strength, a single soul can change the course of generations. And so take a final peaceful breath. Carry this powerful truth with you as you go. You are loved, you are protected, and you are unstoppable. Until we meet again on this path of anointing, remain blessed and at peace.